Kia ora, welcome to the D1NZ D1NZ National Drifting Championship. 12 years sideways in New Zealand, 6 rounds. The first round is done and dusted. That was Mansfield. It's all about Mount Smart, the concrete jungle for the D1NZ National Drifting Championship, brought to you by Demon Energy, Gal Fuels, Cody's Bourbon and Cola, the Pyro Company Fireworks, the Rock FM, Metal Militia, the Bling Company, and Laser Tools.
Cheers, Brendan. Well, round one was all about Mansfield Raceway, back after a 2-year absence, and this season's all about the new stars, the new liveries, the new cars, and the V8 invasion. Well, talking about V8 drivers, Stangadan stepped into Benton Jenkins' TJM S13 turbocharged SR20 there, slaying a few V8s of his own, taking out Sky Zhao, Drew Donovan, before he came up against the Californian V8 pilot Andrew Redwood. But out in front as well was, of course, the turbocharged stars Darren Kelly, also in a borrowed car, taking out Danon Templeman, who was a big name, winning the grand final at Mount Smart last season. But it all came down to Andrew Redwood and Darren Kelly going head-to-head. V8 versus Turbo, but it was the RB30 of Darren Kelly coming out supreme and on top at Mansfield Raceway for his first ever D1NZ Pro Championship win.
And there you have it, your championship standings after Mansfield Round 1. Kelly, Redwood, Hedges and Templeman, the top 4. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Demon Energy D1NZ National Drifting Championship. We're here, the mighty Mount Smart Stadium, round 2, the concrete jungle. Kenny, last year was all about Danon Templeman.
Yeah, fantastic circuit. We've got a new track layout this weekend, and yeah, Danon Templeman's going to be the man to beat. He holds the current qualifying record, a 96 out of 100 he set here last time we were here last season, and he was the last round winner at Mount Smart Stadium. He knows how to swap paint on these walls. Let's get into it.
And these concrete round walls add so much pressure to the drivers, as you see there with Brad Smith. Some historic footage from last year's grand final at Mount Smart Stadium. The judges ask you to be mere 500 millimeters within these concrete barriers at speeds of around 110 kilometers. It is pressure on. And we saw that with the final where Darren Kelly went up against Danon Templeman, and he was in his element. He went on for his first ever podium, but Danon Templeman, as you said earlier, Kenny, would stand victorious on top. That's where it was last season with D1NZ Mount Smart. This is where it's going.
Yes, nothing like the Demon Energy FMX team jumping over Stangadan during the burnout demos. A huge thanks to Club Auto Insurance backing the concrete tour. Rounds 2 and 3 as the drivers set up their championship chase.
Yeah, and it's always a fantastic event here at these custom rounds. An empty car park gets turned into a high horsepower action arena as thousands turn out to settle in, and the drivers get ready on this new custom layout at Mount Smart Stadium. The judges let them know what it takes to battle through the top 32, 16-8 to that top spot, and here's what they're looking for.
Entering the drift section, cars will reach up to 110 kilometers an hour sideways into the first sector. Judges want to see a fast, aggressive 90-degree entry with the rear of the car travelling as close as possible for as long as possible throughout the wall ride. Drivers producing 90 degrees of angle, or deemed going backwards, will risk points deductions in Sector 1. Driving through a wide line, cars need to continue through to another outside clipping zone, where the rear of the car needs to travel as close as possible through this clipping area while maintaining as much angle as possible. Style points will be awarded for full throttle control right through into Sector 2. This is where the new track layout begins as the drivers enter a late apex transition zone. Drivers need to transition the car to position their rear bumper as close as possible throughout this outside clipping zone. Judges want to see a quick switch through Sector 2, using as little handbrake as possible to gain maximum points. Full throttle application will also score drivers maximum points as they power through a smooth arc, driving back towards a late apex clipping point. Finding the correct line through Sector 2 should set up a fast approach through the chicane and back out onto the wall for Sector 3. From here, cars enter the final sector. Drivers need to apply smooth control of the car as they switch back towards the outside wall, carrying momentum onto a reverse line from Sector 1. Full throttle application will score top marks again as the cars exit out wide to the final wall ride with a straight rolling burnout to finish. Let's take a look at the key factors, and judges want to see a big entry into Sector 1 with no more than 90 degrees of angle along the wall. Drivers must gain points in all 3 sectors to produce a final score. Attempting to drift single sectors will result in a 0-point pass. One wheel off track will result in a points deduction. 2 wheels off track will result in a 0 score. Spinning or major straight lines will result in a 0 score.
Well, that's how you set a competitive lap around Mount Smart. The cars are primed, the drivers are ready. Let's take a look at qualifying right after the break. Welcome back to the D1NZ D1NZ National Drifting Championship, Mount Smart Stadium, round 2. As the Pro-Ams get ready, it's all about the Demon FMX putting on a spectacular show in front of a packed house, and some wild action from the guys at Freestyle New Zealand putting their bodies on the line.
Welcome back to the Demon Energy Drinks D1NZ National Drifting Championship from Mount Smart Stadium. It's round 2 of this series, and we're about to come into Pro-Am. Kenny, who's your standouts in Pro-Am?
Well, look, we had some wild battles with Vincent Yates into the wall, Jordan Tweedy into the wall, and they've progressed through. That was a wild battle, but really my pick is Joel Patterson, the little A86 turbocharged 4-cylinder. It's so cool to see a little car like that. One of the original cars of early drifting. Well-presented car, and yeah, I think that's going to be one to look at as he heads into the finals.
Well, you guys can make your minds up right now as we bring you Pro-Am highlights.
Taking a look at the Pro-Am Championship points after round 1, Troy Jenkins took out Manfield from Adam Davies, and as I say, Joel Patterson in there in 3rd, Rene Richmond taking out 4th.
And before we get into the Pro Championship, Cody's Bourbon and Cola presents the top 4 of the Pro-Ams. Joel Hedges, Troy Jenkins, Joel Patterson and Dylan Woolhouse were the ones to watch. But first up, it was Joel Hedges and Troy Jenkins, 2 very spectacular matched cars. They look amazing out on track as well, Kenny.
Yeah, it's a battle of the S-chassis right here, and to see these two absolutely on form again at round 2 inside the concrete jungles. But unfortunately for Jenkins, it was Adam Hedges out on top with advantage from the first pass. He goes through to the final.
Yes, as we get our first taste here for battles at Mount Smart Stadium, a big car, the Hooker Pacific C35, leads out Joel Patterson. 2 very different cars here, Kenny.
Yeah, Joel Patterson, as I say, in that little 4-age turbocharged A86 up against that big 4-door, that C35 of Dylan Woolhouse. Now, this is an absolutely on-form run from Dylan Woolhouse in terms of the round. It's fantastic to see Dylan get his first top 4 in the Pro-Am Development Series, but Joel Patterson will come out on top here and secure some vital championship points.
Yeah, definitely great, Kenny, to see Dylan Woolhouse out there in his first ever 3rd-4th battle, and you can see the back of that C35 has had huge panel damage. Such a big car to be placing around in such a tight technical course. Now, Troy Jenkins, though, he was a strong championship contender coming through the first of last season. This season, he started off in the same way, and he's not letting off Dylan Woolhouse.
Yes, that's right, Brendan, 3rd and 4th, and this is where you need to capitalise early on in the season, and Jenkins didn't let this one slip, taking the final spot on the podium.
And that led us on to our Pro-Am final, the Battle of the Joels, Hedges versus Patterson.
D1NZ Pro-Am, we're down to the final 2. It's Joel Patterson and Joel Hedges. Joel, how are you feeling?
I know Joel's the other Joel's a good driver, and I've had a few practice runs with him, but I don't know, anyone could take it. He's really good, so I'm pretty hyped, having fun.
My man, Joel Patterson, you're looking pretty hot in the car there. You're looking hot on the track too, buddy. You're into the final. How are you feeling?
Oh, awesome, man. Can't believe it. Little way, he's going real good.
All right, plenty of excitement for these 2 young guys. The new stars coming through the ranks, and it's the Cody's Bourbon and Cola final battle for the Pro-Am Development Series round 2 at Mount Smart. Hedges with a fantastic lead.
Yeah, unfortunately there for Patterson, his entry was a bit weak. Bit of a shallow angle and it slowed it up a bit. He's managed to close the gap now on the midsection of the track. Comes around the goal corner. Quite a long section compared to last year's grand final at Mount Smart. But both drivers this weekend delivering the goods to get this final spot.
Yeah, Brendan, it's so cool to see these young guns making their mark in the Pro-Am Development Series, and Hedges really right now just putting on a fantastic lead, and he'll take the advantage in the first pass.
Yeah, Kenny, well, as we swap over, it's going to be all on Patterson to force a mistake, slow it down and do something to get that advantage on this. So Patterson comes in, initiates, Hedges though all over him, but he's coming hot.
Yeah, Hedges just coming in way too hot, way too deep, right up on that rear quarter, but it just sets him up all wrong right here, and he drops a wheel, has to make a correction. He tries to reel it back in through this midsection, and he's all over the back of Joel Patterson's little AE86, but it just doesn't do him any favours. He'll claw some points back out of this, but Patterson really just holding that form. He just needs to keep this lap going. Hedges trying to do all he can, but Patterson holding the advantage. He wouldn't have seen the mistakes in the rear, but he's put his head down. He's committed to an absolute awesome lead lap, and he'll take the win.
You can see here where it all went wrong, unfortunately for Hedges. One wheel off, the judges would have penalised him heavy, and that is it. Troy Jenkins still leads the Demon Energy Pro-Am Championship, followed by Patterson now, and Hedges. Those are going to be ones to watch.
One of the real debates that's going on in drifting at the moment is about the V8 invasion. Here you see what used to be the heart and soul in New Zealand drifting, the traditional RB26 Godzilla motor. This one's actually Bruce Tannock's, which is stroked out to 3.2. However, over here, you see one of the newer LS7 Chevron motors in Gaz Wider's car, part of the new school of V8s.
Yes, that's right, Warren. V8 touring car technology making its way into the Pro Championship field for the D1NZ series. But no matter what car you choose to drive in the Pro class, you are still going to burn plenty of rubber, and it's 2 laps to a set of tyres around this new layout. Championship points leader Darren Kelly finding his limits in practice and qualifying. The pressure was all on at round 2. Phil Sutherland also finding a bit of issue here and through the midsection.
Yeah, we're not done with Sutherland yet, as you'll see in Show 2 next weekend. But Jack always one struggling, unfortunately, with the wall. He unfortunately crashed out in the Colton's Motorsport 180SX earlier on. Big Spinner, an awesome crew, lent their car to him, and it's all downhill from there.
It's a bad day at the office, eh, Kyle?
It's definitely not a good one. Sorry, Bex.
An unfortunate end there for Kyle Jackway's 2 cars on the trailer. Catch him round 3.
Last year, we saw an amazing run of 96 by Dainham Templeman. Not quite the same result this year. Dainham qualifies in 5th. Dainham, how are you feeling, though? This track must have happy memories for you.
Yeah, no, pretty pleased. I made a bit of a balls up early in practice before heading into qualifying. So I just sort of give myself, I was a little bit tentative going into qualifying for tonight's show. We ended up 5th. We're happy with that. It's sort of, you know, at the end of the day, we're here to win the battles, not really the qualifying. But we're pleased. The car's back in one piece. I blew the centre out of a wheel and made a right meal of it and held up a bit of track. But hey, it is what it is, and game time now.
Game time indeed for Fangadan in the Century Batteries VE Commodore, brand new car. This chassis has been undergoing a lot of development this season, and Fanga has been so far thoroughly impressed with what has been built at Checkered Flag Automotive. Fanga taking out 4th place.
Kurt Whitaker in the Autosure R34s right at home at Mount Smart Stadium, taking a round win previously here. And with the 410 V8 Ford power plant under the hood, he picks up 3rd qualifying position.
The small block V8 is just intense to drive. It's absolutely a angry weapon, you know, and like I said, I'm still trying to get the the handle of it, but it's awesome. It's so much fun, and my problem out there is I kept smoking myself out. When I come back around, I couldn't see where I was going when I was coming back.
And picking up 2nd place was defending champion Gaz Wider, 4-time legend in the Tectaloy S14, the Nissan chassis, carrying a V8 Super Tourer engine. V8 Invasion taking out the top spots this weekend.
2nd's pretty good for us. We get a bye into the top 16, which is good. We're chewing through tyres here today, and any less laps we can do is going to help our cause. So we're running pretty low at the moment. So hopefully, if we make it through, we've got enough.
Coming in P1 position, NASCAR power.
Qualifying results are in here at round 2, ladies and gentlemen. Cole Armstrong, the Mopar powered 250 GT, first #1 qualifying result. How does that feel?
Yeah, we're over the moon, eh? We've had endless back-to-back troubles with this car. It's a new car, but over the moon to get a nice clean run in this thing. It's a wonderful package to drive, so different, so noisy, and we're stoked. The team is stoked after all the effort that we put into it.
Well, there you go. That's your top 5 qualifiers from Mighty Mount Smart Stadium, round 2 of the Pro Championship. Coming up after the break, it's the top 32. Welcome back to the Demon Energy D1NZ National Drifting Championship. It's the top 32. The business end, Armstrong, Woolhouse and Templeman all get buys through to top 16. Next week's show on the flip side of the table, both Wider and Whitaker get that buy to the top 16 as well. One battle to watch would be Nico Reed versus Jody Verhulsen. Andrew Redwood versus Brad Smith. He crashed out last year. It's the business end. The top 32 gets introduced to a sellout crowd. And first up, it's Adam Hedges versus Bruce Tannock.
Bruce Tannock in the Achilles Radial S13, Adam Hedges in the Seas Garage S14. Both cars running Nissan power plants. Hedges with a 4-cylinder turbocharged motor, Bruce Tannock in the big 3-litre.
Yeah, Bruce Tannock having a pretty decent chase here on Hedges at the moment. So the top 32 highlights here. We don't get to see the whole runs here, so we'll swap over now. Hedges will be on the chase with Bruce Tannock currently got the advantage on Hedges.
Yeah, that's right, Brendan. Bruce Tannock holding a really strong lead here. Hedges trying to do all he can, but this section's so tight and technical, and Hedges, big correction there at Gulf Force Pro, and that'll put him out.
Sky Zhao versus David Steedman. Now Sky on the chase in the 2 Degrees 350Z. Very aggressive driving here at Mount Smart from Sky. He's been driving quite some time. He's at home in this Atlas-powered 350Z chassis.
Yeah, that's right, the ex-Matt Powers motor all the way from the States, now giving chase to the rotary-powered S14 of Adam Davies, but that's Dave Steedman behind the wheel again in a borrowed car for this round, and Sky Zhao just hanging back a little as they come out to the Section 3 exit. Steedman right on the wall to finish the lap, but unfortunately for him, it was Sky Zhao holding the advantage and taking the win.
I gotta say, what an impressive effort there for the night round of the Mimico 180SX, going all out. Another person that goes all out is Joe Kukutai in the Rockstar R32. This kid loves concrete walls. His saying is smash the gas. But then another person that loves concrete walls and he's leading the championship at the moment is Darren Kelly.
Yeah, Darren Kelly really trying to capitalise on his series points lead, and it was gifted to him right here in the top 32. Joe Kukutai with a broken drive shaft. Darren Kelly through to the top 16.
Yeah, Darren Kelly just not sure if he should still keep drifting there as Joe Kukutai exits the track. Definitely an easy pass through to the top 16.
Next battle up, Vincent Langhorne giving chase to Tom Marshall in the ATJ S13. Langhorne in the borrowed Jordan Tweedy S14, both graduating from the Pro-Am Development Series last season, and Tom Marshall really just coming of age right now in that ATJ machine. But look at Vincent Langhorne just really trying to lay it in that borrowed car, not holding back down at Gulf Force Pro, but he just chucks it too far. Big correction here, and that's going to hand the win to Tom Marshall.
Yeah, Vincent Langhorne definitely not getting his championship, his pro first championship campaign off to a great start. It's not an easy task to get into a borrowed car, but he'll be definitely looking at solidifying something at round 3.
Speaking of solid, Matt Lauder was finding the concrete walls in the Bling Company 180SX. The Rattler Motorsport SB Tools BOC Falcon just pulling away here in that immaculately presented, well-lit up car as Matt Lauder just tries to claw things back here at Gulf Force Pro. A little bit offline, a little bit too shallow.
And a little bit of a misfire there, Kenny. Unfortunately, it sounds like Matt Lauder's got mechanical, so very easy pass there for Shane Allen. Foot full to the floor, smashing the gas, killing all his tyres, as many would say. That's an easy win there for Shane Allen.
Next up, Gaz Grove in the CMP Construction S15 giving chase to Aidan Omnett in the 2JZ powered Altezza. Gaz Grove, another graduate from the Pro-Am Development Series, and he's doing a fantastic job right now, Brendan.
He's doing a great job here. Unfortunately, a bit of a shallow entry as he came into the first part of the section, but he's made up for it now. So all he's got to do is keep on the tour of Aidan Omnett's Altezza, and he'll be scoring a great advantage there. Two very unique cars here. Out front, you've got the 2JZ Toyota power plant, and on the rear, you've got that V8 high horsepower. And at the moment, it's all about Gaz Grove.
Yeah, Gaz Grove just planting it on the wall, taking that wide line the judges want to see. He'll go through to the top 16.
Next battle up is Drew Donovan versus Stephen Soul. Drew Donovan out on the lead there in the Milwaukee-powered S15. And Stephen Soul, one of the true veterans of D1NZ, on the chase.
Yeah, that's right, Stephen Soul in the 2JZ-powered R32.4 Skyline. It's an R34 rear end. Don't let your eyes deceive you. And it is an R32 front on that car. But look at the lead of Donovan out in front. Absolutely laying down a perfect run here for the judges. Soul just making too many mistakes. Donovan's going to hold the advantage on this first pass.
Yeah, we swap over now. It's all about what Stephen Soul can deliver on the lead run. Drew Donovan's got the advantage here as they slide down the first corner. And Drew Donovan has a huge initiation there, Kenny.
Yeah, Donovan just not holding back despite that lead advantage, but he tags the wall. It sends him off into the Demon Energy wall and he spins. And that is a huge hit in the Milwaukee S15.
That's huge damage. It just went too deep and it clipped him around and into the Cody's wall. Now we're obviously going to get the safety crew out there to make sure Drew is okay. You can see here where it all went wrong. He just tried to give his foot up, and what an aggressive spin. One of the most aggressive spins I've probably ever seen in D1NZ history.
Yeah, 110 kilometres an hour on that first entry point, and he just pushed too deep, too far, tagged the wall, but look, he's all okay.
The camaraderie there of Stephen Soul coming over also to make sure he's good. A huge hit, Kenny. One thing that you don't want to see on any driver is to come in and just have such an aggressive hit and full stop. The damage that's been done to that Milwaukee S15 as well. A real unfortunate end there for Drew Donovan.
All right, let's head down trackside with Drew Donovan and Warren Sear.
Donnie D, what do you say? We've just seen one of the biggest hits perhaps ever at D1NZ. First of all, you're okay?
Yeah, I'm okay. Got a little bit knocked around. So it was a decent hit, that's for real. But yeah, I'm okay.
Any thoughts as to what happened there?
Oh yeah, clipped the bottom wall, put me onto a bad line, kept my foot up it to try and maintain it. But yeah, carried me on into the D1NZ wall. And then that one was the big one. That's what flicked me around and into the stone wall there. And yeah, it was history from there, but anywho.
All right, credit to the safety of these cars with their Motorsport New Zealand homologated roll cages and plenty of safety gear all round. But next up, it's Jody Verhulst giving chase to Nico Reed in a borrowed car, and Jody Verhulst is not going to hold back with what she's just seen. Jody, of course, the partner of Drew Donovan and Team DMNZ, and she is not going to let this one go, Brendan.
Yeah, definitely will be playing on the nerves of these drivers coming straight out after such a big hit, but Jody is doing an amazing chase here. Full credit to her. This is a V8 powered Super with a GT86 front on, so a very unique car, and she's chasing down the driver of Nico Reed. Nico Reed in the borrowed Pack and Save S13 of Ben Wilkinson.
Yeah, Nico Reed with a bit of a gap, but he had a far too scrappy line. Jody Verhulst much more on that judges line that we wanted to see, so she's going to hold an advantage on that pass, and she's going to capitalise right now in the lead.
Yeah, so Jody Verhulst initiates there, but Nico Reed out real wide there. Jody Verhulst taking it in a line. Nico Reed now with mechanicals. It's a straight line for Nico Reed. Something is wrong in that Pack and Save S13, Kenny.
Yeah, it's never easy to jump in a borrowed car, but that hands the win to Jody Verhulst, which means we'll then head into Andrew Redwood and Brad Smith.
Brad Smith on the lead here in the Burger Fuel 350Z. Andrew Redwood chasing nice and close there from Andrew Redwood as they come through. Very fast run from both drivers here, but look at Andrew Redwood on fire with those Achilles 1-2-3s blazing up in the rear.
Yeah, multiple years in a row, Andrew Redwood has come out as Angle King at the annual D1NZ Awards, and look at him right now, just chasing, unfazed by the smoke and unfazed by that VQ power plant ahead of him. The V8 is taking on the supercharged Nissan 350Z of Brad Smith, and he is going to take the win here today.
Next top 32 battle up is the A1 Homes S14 of Shane Giles. After round one, it's come out looking immaculate, and on the lead, the ATJ car of Joe Marshall, RB25. Two exceptional drivers here, but Shane Giles pushes wide, doing a great chase there in the A1 Homes S14.
Yeah, Shane Giles taking up pole position alongside Darren Kelly at the first round at Manfield, and it's great to see A1 Homes sign on board with that car. It's a fantastic new livery on that car, but look out front. The ATJ machine just really putting on a solid lead as Shane Giles just bogs it down in the smoke here, and he takes a shallow line, puts a wheel on the line too, so this is going to hand a really big advantage to Marshall, and he'll take the win.
So that wraps up the top 32 from Mount Smart Stadium. Don't forget, in 2 weeks' time, it's Hampton Downs, round 4 in the Waikato, February the 20th and 21st, the top 16. That's coming up next weekend right here, D1NZ.com. Find out more. We'll catch you on the flip side.